What's up, y'all? It's Timothy the Tiger. I am an evangelist, which means a messenger of the great news of our King, Jesus Christ. He personally has helped me heal physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, and now it is part of my dharma, part of my purpose here on earth to make these YouTube videos to hopefully inspire y'all to enter into a relationship with our King, Yeshua HaMashiach. So today, may not be as much of a spiritual video. I may get a lot of flack for it, but I mean, it's just an observation I've been having, and I just feel like I need to talk about it, and maybe other people can relate, and other people can disagree. Let me know down in the comment section below. And you might be like, why are you calling out women? I mean, the men are just as guilty. We'll get into it, but essentially the title I'm thinking in my head right now is Women's Obesity, Tattoos, and Promiscuity. And we could say the men are just as guilty as well. I mean, there's an obesity epidemic in this country for men and for women. There's tons of men covered in bad tattoos, and there's tons of men that are overly lustful. That's obvious. And so, yeah. But I just personally just don't care so much about the male side of things. I mean, I know it's important as an evangelist for everyone to come into the kingdom of God. It's just that I'm looking for a mate. I'm looking for a godly girlfriend who will eventually be my wife, my godly wife. And so we'll just take it one step at a time, and hopefully you stick with me. And we'll talk about the obesity. And it's just something I've noticed that a lot of young women, like younger than me, like early 20s, I mean, but like 20s, 30s, 40s. But I'm just saying, like in your 20s and 30s, these women shouldn't be obese. And especially like the 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, like, but it's just something I've observed. Like, it is rare to find a young woman that is like in decent, healthy shape. And I'm just like, am I the only one that notices this? Like, I guess I have standards, I have preferences. It's that I prefer to date someone that's healthy. I love taking care of my health, but when I look around at the dating pool, these women are fat. like the majority are overweight. And I just wanted to talk about it. I mean, I don't think there's anything really spiritual about it. The only thing I could think of is gluttony, overindulgence, but maybe they're just a victim of the standard American diet. And I don't know, y'all. I don't think it's always been like this, where I feel like women in their 20s and 30s should look relatively healthy. And I'm just saying, from my own perspective, that is a rare thing nowadays. Really is. And I know that might piss people off because we're in this era where there's not supposed to be any fat shaming, and you're supposed to embrace the fat and being overweight and unhealthy. But I'm Timothy the Tiger, White Magic Tiger. I don't really care. I'm just telling you my preferences and what I like, and I'm attracted to women that are healthy. And then she'll likely have healthy children as well. And dating someone that's overweight in their 20s, I mean, where are they going to be when they're 30s and their 40s and their 50s? Like, are they even gonna make it to 60? Are they gonna die of obesity? Just saying. I know I'm being harsh here. I know men are just as guilty, but I will say, on average, it looks like more men are healthier. Like, it seems like more men go to the gym to grow muscle and get fit than it seems like women taking care of their bodily vessel. And we've all seen that classic example where it's like an overweight, obese guy with a trophy wife. And it's because like usually he's funny, he's got a great personality, but most importantly, he's usually a multimillionaire. He's got a lot of money. But how often do we see like a super fit dude with an obese woman? Like, that's not as common as a scenario. But we've all seen that scenario where it's like overweight, ugly guy with a beautiful trophy wife. And so just something to think about, what's going on. And so then we'll move into the tattoos, where let's say on the off chance that I do like see like, whoa, she's fit, she looks healthy, and then she's covered in tattoos. And it's like, oh man. And it's like, some people might be like, well, you can't say that. I have a tattoo here. And I get that all the time where it's like, how can I be critical about tattoos when I have a tattoo? They say I'm a hypocrite. And I'm just saying, it's the same thing with the obesity, that I have a preference, that I prefer a woman that doesn't have tattoos. I find her to be more feminine. I find her to be more beautiful with just the natural skin. And I do find tattoos to be more of a masculine thing, that when you put something on that's permanent and never comes off, it's a masculine trait. And so when a woman is covered in tattoos, it's like, to me, she looks pretty masculine. Like, like the classic biker gang covered in tattoos. And I mean, you take a beautiful woman, cover her in tattoos, it's like, you probably would look more beautiful without those. And when they're covered in them, sadly, a lot of those tattoos are really stupid. I mean, I just look at it and it's just like, that looks like a dumb tattoo. It's just like, why did you get that? And I'm just saying, on mine, I have no regrets about mine. And I spent 6 months meditating, designing, redesigning, just working on this thing. And yeah, after 6 months, I finally got it. It was not impulsive at all. I received a vision during a 10-day silent meditation retreat. On day 9 of that meditation retreat, I received a vision seeing this tattoo on my arm. So it was sort of a spiritual thing, and I did not rush into it whatsoever. Whereas most people nowadays, I feel like they just impulsively just go get bad tattoos. And I'm just making this video just being like, let's talk about it. I don't find it attractive. I don't find the obesity attractive. I don't find the excessive tattoos attractive. I'm just saying. And then let's get into the promiscuity. It's that women's body counts are the highest they've ever been. They've never been this high before in the history of humanity. Because in the past, if they slept around like they sleep around nowadays, they would have tons of kids, tons of children. And well, do they today? No, because they have birth control, or they go to Planned Parenthood and they murder their babies. That's just the reality of what it is today. I think maybe women don't talk about it, but I think a lot of women do sleep around, and then they get a pregnancy scare, and then they start seriously considering murdering their baby. And that's just the world we live in nowadays. And that's more of a spiritual topic. And like I said in the beginning, men are just as guilty. I mean, men are super promiscuous. Men can be covered in tattoos, bad tattoos, and they can be overweight as well. But like I said, it's just I just don't care as much, just because I mean, I'm looking for a wife, and I'm just looking at the dating pool, and I'm observing the dating pool, and I'm just like, when I see an obese woman, it's like, pretty much in my mind immediately, it's like, no way. I find, like, honestly, the people are gonna, like, maybe I'll get flagged for saying this, but like, I find it repulsive, like, in terms of like sexuality. Like, if I were to like sleep with someone, and it's just like, I couldn't do it. Like, I am physically unattracted. That, I'm just saying. And then when she's covered in tattoos, it's a sign of impulsivity, where it's just like very impulsive to get a tattoo, and then to cover your body in bad tattoos, it's like, what other bad decisions have you made? And so that's to me like a red flag, the excessive tattoos. And just like, all right, if you're impulsive enough to just cover yourself in permanent bad tattoos, like, what other bad decisions have you made? Which leads into promiscuity, where it's usually there's a correlation, where if they're covered in bad tattoos, they usually have a high body count as well. And so I'm just sort of venting in this video in a way, and just being like, hey, can we make an observation here and be like, this dating pool kind of sucks. I mean, most of these women aren't healthy. They're covered in bad, like they have at least one bad tattoo for the most part. Like, do you know how rare it is nowadays to meet a woman that doesn't have a tattoo? It is extremely rare to meet a young woman that's not overweight, that doesn't have a tattoo, and doesn't have a high body count. Like, that is so rare, mind-blowingly rare, to meet a healthy woman with no tattoos with just a low body count. I'm not talking about a virgin. I'm talking about just a low body count. It almost doesn't exist. That almost doesn't exist. And that's the dating pool where it's like, I guess I just like either got to be a celibate monk for life or settle with an overweight woman covered in bad tattoos that has a huge body count. I know I'm being ridiculous. I'm being extreme here, but I'm just saying, like, sometimes it's a bit frustrating where it's just like, really, like, this is the dating pool I have to choose from. I'm just like, I'm born in the wrong generation, the wrong decade. I mean, it's yeah. I mean, like I said, this isn't really a spiritual video in the way it is, because I'm ultimately seeking a godly wife, and I'm just filtering out what I see right now and just being like, I don't know about that. Like, I mean, just, I think I'll just focus on the semen retention, the celibacy, the no fap, and just hold out, because I'd rather do that than rush into a bad situation that's ultimately going to cause me even more pain. And so, what do y'all think? Y'all hate me for making this video? Y'all agree with me on making this video? I'm curious as to what your thoughts are. Maybe I'll get flagged because, in this day and age, you're not supposed to criticize women, especially when it comes to their body count and their weight. You're not supposed to criticize them. Yeah. Anyways, and what's up with the whole tattoo thing? Like, why are beautiful women covering themselves with tattoos? Is this a celebrity thing? I don't really follow social media in Hollywood. Like, is there an increase in celebrities that are just getting bad tattoos, and these women think that's great? I'm gonna get bad tattoos as well. Like, I genuinely don't know. Like, I'm just like amazed when I see a beautiful woman and just covered in bad tattoos. Like all the sleeve, chest, legs. Like, I'm just like, what the heck? What's going on? No one tell you that, like, that doesn't look good? Okay, I know that's pretty critical. I'm trying to make these videos shorter and shorter and shorter. So thank you for listening. May God bless all y'all. Namaste.